Discounting might drive short-term sales, but is it costing you long-term profit? In this episode, Transactor unpacks why loyalty members spend more, return more often, and how smarter loyalty strategies can deliver sustainable growth without racing to the bottom on price. Kia ora, I'm Carolyn Young, Chief Executive of Retail NZ, and today I'm joined by John Norrie, who's the CEO of Transactor. Kia ora and welcome, John.
Hi, Carolyn, and thanks for inviting me for this little chat today.
Excellent. Look, today we're going to be discussing your Beyond the Discount report, focusing on building sustainable growth through data-driven loyalty programs. So in this report, you say that loyalty members deliver 12 to 18% more revenue. What makes loyalty drive more spend and repeat visits than straight discounting?
Look, there are quite a number of reasons. The 12 to 18%, by the way, is our own experience of being involved in loyalty programs for a very long time. So we know that we can get that sort of result. Some get better, but the 12 to 18 is it. I think the challenge for a lot of retailers is that discounts create a customer behavior. They create price seekers as opposed to building any sort of relationship with a customer. So where discounts are being used to drive volume or traffic, they're not actually building a long-term relationship with a customer that results in repeat purchases. And as we know, the loyal customers will spend more on individual transactions, as well as we know that they keep on coming back because we can track them through the loyalty program.
So you note that a 5% lift in retention can grow profits by anything from 25 to 95%. So what are the first loyalty moves a retailer should be making to get that sort of retention lift without discounting harder than what they're already doing?
Okay, well, look, launching a loyalty program, it's a long-term commitment because obviously we, the retailer, the hospitality venue, they're looking for long-term relationships with customers. What we found is that what we call the life stage activity is absolutely critical to building that long-term engagement with the customer. Avoiding churn is critical. And we know that in the first 4 to 6 weeks of launching a loyalty program or a customer joining a loyalty program, that's the most dangerous time for churn. And that's where we really encourage our clients to use the life stage strategy, which is to welcome the customer and then to have a sequence of engagement or communications that encourage the customer to do something. Welcome them in, encourage them to make their first transaction, thank them for their first transaction, remind them to come in for the next event or the next offer. Over that 4 to 6 weeks, have a series of engagement communications that really start to say to the customer that we care. And I know that it sounds a bit, I don't know, crass, if you like, that we care a bit, but it's real. Customers want to be acknowledged, they want to be recognized.
And look, retail is all about customer service, right? And it's always been about customer service. It's never going to go away. And when we think of the description you've just given about welcoming people and having, ongoing engagement after they've made their purchase and wanting to create opportunities for them to come back in store, that is all about customer service. It's the 101 of retail, and you're just thinking about how to apply it in 2026 in a way in which will grow your customer base and grow your sales, really, I think. And we can't get away from thinking about customer service because it drives sales, right?
Yeah, look, that's right. And customer service comes in many forms. One is obviously the experience that someone has when they're in the store, the location. The other is the way the customer feels about how they're being treated, both in store and outside of store. Online as well. Online is a really critical environment these days. And I digress a bit, but chatbots You can get really good ones and you can get really vile, terrible ones that do a total disservice to the customer engagement. So what we say about loyalty programs, and I guess more importantly about the bigger picture, is that it's not all about points. Points or rewards are part of a mechanism. It's about the experience for the customer. Now, whether it's the experience of just saying thank you for coming and making a purchase, or making a purchase of a certain value, or trying out a product, to having VIP events or special, pre-sale activity, making the customer feel a little bit different because they belong to the program. And yes, they get rewards. It doesn't mean you don't discount for a valued customer, but it's better to give a deep discount to a customer who hasn't been to see you for a while, so you know that they're probably churning, and you can only do that by having the data. It's better to give the deep discount to them than to give a deep discount to everyone. And the same applies to the member, that discounts are still a valuable mechanism, but give it to the customers who deserve it, not to everyone. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think you talk about in the report, right? You talk about frequent discounting can train customers to wait and create sort of volatile revenue. So, how could retailers shift promos into member-only loyalty offers so that they can keep customers coming back and protect margin? I guess that's a little bit about what you've just thought about, right? It's a bit about really identifying who those loyal members are and how you'd want to reward them to come back in and spend more.
Yeah, and it's just the way that whole engagement and communication happens. Is one, you need the data because you need to know who the people are. But two, you need the data because you want to know what they're doing or what they're not doing. And that is the really important part. Simple as shelf tickets that say, member price or member discount, or double rewards or double points, on the shelf. So you're actually saying, well, if you're a member, you get preferential treatment, and we want you to be a member, and you can enjoy all these things.
And I think, as you say, John, data is key, right? If you can understand the data and you can read and evaluate the data appropriately, you know what's happening with your members, you know how they're viewing different products, and you know their trends. Hopefully, then you'll be able to tailor your communication to that member based on the data that you have about them.
Yeah, and look, it's sort of cliched, but the recency, frequency, monetary principle still applies, whether you're a furniture retailer, white goods, to a coffee bar. It doesn't actually matter. The RFM still applies, but you need the information to be able to know, what a customer's doing, how recently they shop, how much they spend, what's their frequency. So yeah, data is absolutely key.
Look, thank you so much for joining us today, John. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you and hear how Transacta is supporting businesses who are looking to build their loyalty program.
Thanks, Carolyn. It's been nice talking to you too. Thank you.
Look, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode today, and don't forget to visit www.transactor.com. That's TRANXACTOR.com to find out more. This is part of our Empowering Retail series, your go-to resource for short, actionable insights designed to take your retail business to the next level. Don't forget to watch out for more episodes, and until next time, ka kite anō. Bye for now.